What's up, guys? It's Freven here, and today I'm going to be showing you an explosive Hellborn Krieg build. I mess around a lot with or Krieg builds in general, and I found a really nice mobbing build that works for loaders and for flesh targets. I've uh, been putting this together for a while. I have a shotgun build and melee build, but this one I've been actually using a lot lately. And I've been wanting to share it with you guys since the new Handsome edition is coming out for the brand new next gen consoles. So let's build it together. So we're gonna pick up Buzzax Rampage, of course, because Buzzax Rampage, and we're gonna first put points into Feed the Meat. This is gonna increase our maximum health and shield recharge delay, and this is gonna be really this we're putting this mostly for the shield recharge delay for the exact shield that we're using. That's going to carry the build for the most part. And then we're going to put points in Embrace the Pain. This is going to be mostly for our fire rate, and the shield recharge delay is good, but it's it's not personally needed. I don't know. Um, then we're going to put points into Strip the Flesh. This is going to be increasing our explosive damage by 30% because of our class mod that we're going to be using. An additional 30 when we're in our fight for life, but that's not going to be often if you play this correctly. Then we're going to put points in the blood-filled guns. This is going to be good for TDR weapons if you so wish to use them. I'm going to be giving you an idea of the specific weapons that you can be using for this build because it is very versatile, and it's mainly for mobbing, but it could be used for some bosses. But of course most of the raid bosses are going to be putting points in specifically for their builds. We're also going to be put points in Blood Twitch. This is going to be really good for our weapon swap speed. We're going to be swapping between our grog nozzle for heals and just are in general swapping to our different weapons for this scenario. Then we're going to put points in the bloodbath. This is going to be really good for the amount of explosives that we're going to get from our blood explosion. And then it's going to increase our weapon damage. So if we're going to be using guns that have splash damage, it's going to increase the weapon damage just from getting the splash using the gun regularly. Then we're going to put points in the boiling blood, just so we can get down to blood explosion. This is going to increase the decaying rate, so it's not going to decay as much. And we're not going to touch anything else. We could put points in the bloody revival, but we're going to be putting points in the Hellborn for the most part. Then we're going to put points in the nervous blood. Killing an enemy increases our reload speed. This is going to be good for being able to keep our health up, because our shield's going to be down, and this is going to be OP8. Our shields in health is going to constantly fluctuate. Our shield's going to be down 24/7, but we're going to heal through it all, every bit of it. Then we're going to put points in the burn baby burn. This is going to increase our burn damage. It's not going to be the best against loaders, but in OP8 our health does not scale to the 80. It does not scale to the 80 plus enemies, since we're stuck at 72. Then we're going to put points in the numb nerves. This is going to be really good for our damage reduction. Since we have no health, we're going to be needing this. I mean, since we have no shield. We're going to put points into Pain is Power. Only 4 points, because we're going to be needing it to be able to get down to Raving Retribution. And then this is really powerful. What we're going to be needing is Elemental Elation stacks. This is really nice. It's going to increase our elemental status effect damage, and then it's going to let us get stacks using any elemental status effects. And fire rate magazine. This is really good. Considering we're getting a lot of magazine sizes, especially from blood-filled guns and from elemental elation, you're gonna, if you want to use your get up from fight for your life weapon as a TD or SMG or anything, this is going to be perfect. You're going to put points into delusional damage. All elemental status effects you cause have a chance to light yourself on fire. This is going to be really good when you're using against loaders, because you're not going to be using any fire damage against them, of course, because that would be ridiculous. You can't. They have so much regen or resistance to fire. It's going to be pointless. Then we're going to put points into elemental empathy. This is going to be a core ability to be able to heal up through all of the damage that we're going to be taking. Since our shield's going to be down, we're constantly healing up. Then we're going to be using Raving Attribution. It's going to be healing also and dealing increased damage since we're on fire and everything. So this is our build. One thing to note is you need to unequip and re-equip your class mod after you put your skill points in, or else it's not going to take an effect. It's a glitch for some reason for this. So you get Grog Nozzle. This is going to be our main weapon that we're going to be using, is Grog Nozzle. You get this from a quest on Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon Keep. I have it as a weapon in general because I gibbed it because I wanted to turn in the quest. You will have, every time you log in, you'll have a different accessory. I have blade just because I like the blade. It looks cool, and that's all. You will be able to have this weapon. Just it won't always have a blade. Every time you save it, it'll have a different thing. So our second weapon is going to be having all flavors of our slow hand. Slow hand is going to be one of our main weapons, but it's going to be mostly for healing and getting splash damage out. Since this is a splat E-Tech gun and a Moxie weapon, as being a Moxie weapon, it's going to be able to heal us up. Of course, with the Grog Nozzle as well. This one I think has a 6% of your damage take is going to heal you. Just wielding this in your hand and dealing damage is going to heal you for that amount. But the Grog Nozzle is, I think, 60%, something around there. So this one is your healing backup. In our slow hand, it's an E-Tech shotgun, meaning it's not going to be a normal shotgun. It's going to be turned into a splat gun. And we have the practical one, meaning it's going to fire an additional projectile. This is the one that you would want. And it just deals the most damage, but it's going to consume a little bit more shots, but you're going to need it. Being an E-Tech, it's going to have increased splat. I'm saying this because splash damage is increased by explosive damage. This is most focusing a lot on splash damage, and then splash damage. Of course, there's going to be bosses that have resistance to splash damage, like Saturn, and I think Dakino's mom. There's a lot of bosses that have resistance to splash damage, but drastically. So this is just for normal mobbing and just explosions and fire, because reasons. And Torque likes explosions. So our second weapon is going to be any assault rifle, of course, with explosive damage. I have the Ogre because it is the best assault rifle with explosions, of course, from Torque. I wanted a different weapon in each slot except the pistols, because this build runs out of ammo really quick, considering your fire rate is really, really ridiculous from Elemental Elations and from Embrace the Pain. You have a very high magazine too, so you're going to be burning through it very quickly. So having a different assortment of weapons is much needed. So having said, I use the explosive, anything explosive, because it's going to be dealing the gun damage increase that we're getting from Pain is Power. This isn't much needed, but it is a damage increase. We're getting that damage, then we're also getting splash damage, which is also going to increase our weapon damage for getting splash damage. So when a blood explosion procs or any splash damage gun procs bloodbath from getting a kill with the explosion, it's going to be increasing our weapon damage, and that's going to be almost doubling or more for your guns. If you're going to be focusing more on the E-Tech Splasher, the slow hand, you can put points in the Salt the Wounds, which is also going to increase your shotgun damage when your shield is down and you're taking damage. But I prefer this one because shotgun pool damage, the pool ammo pool for shotguns is not very big, being only 220 maxed out. And our main weapon that we're going to be using is our Unkempt Herald, double penetrating Unkempt Herald. And this is the best pistol in the game, no question. It's deals the most explosive damage as well, so we're getting a huge increase for it, as well as the explosive and gun damage. And then our shield is a must. We're going to be using Flame of the Firehawk. If you do not have the Flame of the Firehawk, I don't think this build would be useful. You can try the Rough Rider. That would be an alternative from the damage reduction and the extra health. But in OP8, the Firehawk wins in every situation. And then our Flesh Crunch mod, I think this is the best one you can get. It's 53%. I could be wrong for OP8. You want points for Strip the Flesh. That's the one that you want. You want the flesh prefix before. And then my grenade choice is Chain Lightning because it regens and it affects basically everybody. It's a quick heal when you're using a Moxie weapon. It's an instant heal. You can use any other Tesla grenade. I have Stormfront. I also have Quasar. But I mostly use my Chain Lightning because it regens and I don't have to worry about it. You could use these grenades. See, here's my shield proccing. I wanted to show you that. Flame the Firehawk shield. The way this works is when it's down, it's going to keep on emitting fire explosions or novas. Having a moxing weapon is going to constantly heal you. Having elemental empathy, all of the elemental status effect damage is going to heal me up. And fire damage, and then we're going to be increased burn damage if it ignites anybody. We're going to be getting burn baby burn, so on and so forth. Having our shield down, we're getting fire rate. But the only thing about this build is you need your shield down 24/7. If it comes up, if your shield comes up for any sort of reason, because you weren't taking damage for a long period of time, it's gonna go back up, and you're gonna lose your Nova. During the recharge rate, you're not gonna be able to have a Nova until you get your shield back to full. That's just how it works. Must fully recharge between Novas. And our relic is always going to be Bone of the Ancients Fire. This is the best one you can get. It's 39%. You're not going to be using the cooldown because you're never going to be using Buzz-Axe Rampage. This is not a melee build, and this is focusing more on his talent moves for explosives. I will be making more builds along the way. If you guys so desire, I'll make shotgun builds and melee builds that I have in the store. I have basically everything that I would need for Krieg. So, continuing with this, you need fire damage every single time because it's going to be healing you from your Firehawk shield, which is fire damage, of course. Do not use one that has inflammable because it's not going to let you be on fire, which you need to be on fire to be able to have elemental elations and numb nerves. It would cancel out everything and make your talents useless, per se. And you're gonna, and every time you're on fire, it's gonna have your shield not start regenerating. So that's good. Now we're going to show you the build here. We're in Bloodshot Stronghold for the flesh targets, and then we're going to go to Washburn Refinery afterwards and kill some loaders. Alright, let's get some bloodlust stacks. Slag. I feel a frenzy. Even just wielding blood on the dirt, playing the Firehawk shield, it's gonna kill everything in this map. When things get rough, like a nomad per se, they're gonna have resistance to weapon damage and just swap This build specializes in large chunks of people all next to each other. It's going to be blood spurting constantly. Getting grenade damage. I'm gonna swallow your throat, badass. Basically steamroll over everything. I use chain lightning Teslas because it's going to be getting constantly using chain lightning just to keep status effects on everybody to heal me up. That turret back. We always use electric or any Tesla style grenades because we use strip shields. Because I never really use electric items or anything electric. I think the Nova is increased grenade damage, I could be wrong, but having all this explosion, it's gonna, if it's killed, if the blood explosion works, I use a chain lightning so I can damage myself. We're gonna keep on chain killing as well. Chain kills after chain kills. Badass on fire! You're instantly gonna get up. See, when you get the second win, you're gonna be, yeah, instantly killed. Look at that. You want to get your shield back up, so you might get some delay. I'm just gonna wait a couple seconds and let my shield recharge back up, since it's gonna be. I don't want that. Some status effects on it. Whoops. Alright. Constantly need to be in the midst of combat for this run to actually have fun. Because you're constantly going to be getting healed up. If you're at any certain range, that's why I'm using chain lightning to keep myself up. I'm not even worried about when the crazy maniac comes up. Getting kills from grenades is, grenade kills is also going to give us grenades, so we're not going to worry about losing grenades at all. Gotta get the Psycho. Ironclads are a bitch.
I'm back!
I know I'm not the best, but the build itself is actually really good if you can use it effectively. I'm not really trying right now, but I'm trying to show that the fact that you don't really have to try to make this build work. It's mainly just for mobbing and not even having to work. You steamroll over everything. If you take your time, you'll definitely be able to
Open your
get
sour blades for me! You better run!
Gonna have to strip our shield. I wouldn't recommend stripping your shields if you have it already like 25%.
It's a scarlet slice! Open your veins! Flush your blood! Wind, blood.
And that, my friends, is Bloodshot Stronghold. And now we're off to go kill some loaders. Alright, hey guys. Now we're here in the Washburn refinery. It's like strictly loaders and armored targets. So we wanted to I wanted to show you the flesh targets back in the stronghold, and now we're here. We just switched up our slow hand to corrosive. It's the only difference between it. Now let's get some ammo, and I'll show you how it's still effective towards loaders because of our high explosive damage and not relying too much on our fire. We're able to heal up and have a gun damage build with Hellborn Krieg. That still makes you feel like you are Hellborn Krieg. Got a power loader, gonna have to go under that shield with our splash damage. Just deflected some of that splash back at us. Or slag. I don't use the Ogre too much, but it is still a good weapon when you don't have much ammo. Considering assault rifles in this game are just not the best, everyone knows that. They have a broken crit modifier, making them not that good. This is the thing about loaders, is since they're resistant to fire, you're not going to be able to heal too much through everything. See how strong Unkempt Turtle is with this build? And that's it. The Unkempt Turtle is probably our strongest weapon in this arsenal and build, having the increased explosive damage. Now let's get some ammo before we go to the ultimate badass loader. Get our shield up, get some bloodlust stacks. And a slaggin, and Unkempt Turtle. That's it. I don't really need to explain much more on how this build is, but we're gonna continue through. want to point out that to get our blood explosion to do its maximum potential, we need to keep up with our bloodlust stats. The cap is 100, but it's gonna make our life way easier. Not having our shield down, you'll realize how ridiculously slow our fire rate is compared to what our fire rate cap is. The XP loaders. Just let them go. Deal with themselves. Alright. Some more. I know they're exploders, but I like calling them the XP loaders. Because they don't give me any XP. Alright, now we have some normal loaders here.
Paper cut.
Let's let them deal with themselves again. There's so many exploders. I want real loaders. Alright, we got a full loader now.
Open up sour blades for me.
Alright, now we have the ultimate badass, now that we have this room basically cleared out. Since our shield regenerated slightly from not taking damage, we have no benefit from our number. We just need to get it back down. You want to keep your shield down. This is what I mean about keeping your shield down all the time, and how important it is for this build. It's going to be helping you heal through everything, just about everything. You're going to be on the brink of death for the most part, if that is your playstyle. I like being in the midst of the combat and just taking as much damage as I possibly can. This build is still a work in progress, but I still enjoy it a lot. Taking a benefit of not using any of the legendary class mods. Just a normal purple class mod. I like that. It fits a completely new meta. I get exploded. There we go. Let's continue on. See, when you get a grog nozzle effect, just from wielding the grog nozzle, you'll be able to get a huge burst of damage. You don't want to rely on that, but it's still a really nice proc to have. Alright, down here on our last loader, right next to the Hyperius room. I think you guys get the idea of how strong this build can be. And this is Freven here, and thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe to give me feedback. I really want to see what you guys think about this build, and how it's not very gear dependent, but you can find some decent gear for it. There's nothing really hard to get out of all these weapons except the ogre, but you can change this out with any other weapon. You can actually change this out with a SMG, per se, a regular Tediore, one because you have a really high magazine chance, really high magazine TDR span. There you go. I should have used that one, but I like the ogre. And thank you for watching.